Hello, YouTube. How's everyone going? Monster, hi. Hey, man, how are you going? So today, we ported into Lost Kingdom. So this is the 1365 versus 1846 KvK, obviously with a lot of allies. Now, as you can see, on the top right-hand corner, we do have a map where we're showing the allies and the enemies. So the teams in blue are allies and the teams in red are, I guess, they're allied against us. So 1365 top left hand corner, 1846 bottom right corner. So most likely scenario, we will meet 1846 in the Kingsland area. That's the hope. And after that, you know how it's probably going to go. 1846 is an extremely OP kingdom. Now, speaking of extremely OP, one of the things we want to check out today is the ranking. So we want to check the alliance power, alliance kills, individual power, individual kills, achievements, pretty much everything that comes with it. So all sorts of ranking, just so that we get a feel of how strong our opponents are in this KvK. And we obviously know 1846 is extremely OP. Now, additionally, just wanted to clarify, I'm playing here with my old account. Now, I have to say that this is an overgrown farm. As you can see, I only played 2 KvKs, and each KvK I got about 200 million kill points. So only 2 KvKs I played actively here, and don't probably have as many deaths either. So 5.3 whatever. So this is not my active account. This is where I'm a lower contributor. KvK, hey there, glad to catch a stream. Hey man, good to have you here. Haven't seen you in a while. I think when I'm streaming a little bit earlier, then I get to see you. I'm guessing you're from Asia. That's why I only get to see you when I'm streaming kind of early. I'm from Sydney myself. Now, guys, as you can see, the new markers are here. They're the coalition markers. So that obviously makes life easy in terms of, indicating where directing players to certain places, taking action and all of that. Now, my plan for this KvK is to play and stream at the same time. The last 1365 KvK that I played in, I didn't really get to stream much because I was in BLN most of the time, because BLN to me is an extremely fun alliance. Now, where is BLN? Here, over there. So BLN, but then BLN is mostly English speaking. I mean, that's probably why I got along very well there with the fun-loving people there. But then this time around, I'm trying to see if I can avoid playing through BLN because their markers are in English and I can't live stream. So I am in JST now, and I plan to play through JST and OG, because if I do that way, I can stream and play at the same time, because otherwise you get to do either or. KvK, I'm actually US. It's 7 a.m. just getting off work. Okay, well, that kind of makes sense. Night shift, I used to do a lot of night shift myself previously. It's a wholly different life. I mean, I actually enjoyed doing night shifts more, but then after I got married and had kids and all that, then I kind of miss out on everything, so kind of moved to day shifts. It's 8 a.m. here, 8 p.m. here. John Guinea, yes, 8 p.m. For me, it's 9 p.m. in Sydney. Okay, so we got the rankings to look at. Now, before we go ahead and look at the rankings, I actually want to kind of check out what's happening with 1412. I kind of have a thing where I just have to check. Now, I am not going to spend too much time there. I just want to see if 1412 has been rescued. You know how they were stuck in their zone 5. They kind of did few fortresses and everything. So before we dive into the 1365 KvK, I want to see whether there any progress there for 1412. Well, it doesn't look like it. So 1412 had few more flags around. It doesn't look like they have the flags anymore, and they're just doing pretty much whatever, and the forts are burning. So 1412 is not making that much of a progress themselves. Now, in terms of them being rescued, from the right hand side we had 1892 coming in. Now let's have a look if 1892 made any progress. No. So 1875 from the top, we saw them doing that fort yesterday. They have kind of come in all the way, and they're taking over the management of this area. So we got 1892 kind of trying to take back the pass. There's a rally going on. There's a Zenobia. There's a single rally Gilgamesh. But then it's not like 1892 has managed to push in or anything. Yeah, that's bad for the 1412 side or the blue side as we speak. Now, one other area I wanted to have a look. John Guinea, I work night shift too. Hey man, night shift is kind of fun, right? You get to sleep the day. I used to love that. Okay, now we are checking out the 1606 progress. So 1606 was kind of pushing down this way. Yesterday they were burning a lot of forts. Now let's see how those forts kind of look like. So that fort repaired. That's 1823, and on the right hand side this was 2051. 2051 is kind of getting burned, but 2050 they did a fort just behind. Okay, so it's like they can kind of hold on, but holding on doesn't kind of help the 1412 side win this KvK. Like as it is, if 1412 is not part of the Kingsland push, which I don't think they can now. So if that's where things settle, then 1606, 1647, 1875, that side probably gets the zig. So anyways, I just thought we take a quick look, and we did. And we're gonna take one more quick stop at the 1556 KvK. Why we're doing it? Because we kind of live streamed that KvK, so I kind of feel like knowing what's going on and kind of showing you guys what's going on as well. But we're gonna be equally brief, probably even less time spent here, because we know that there's only one area where fighting was going on, which is this area, which is 1446 and 2224. So 1446 was kind of getting pushed in, and it looks like they have gotten even more pushed in. So they got two forts here, both burning. The fort up there, it's not burning, and 1446 does have a lot of cities here, but this is more like a matter of time, because they're getting double rallied, right? They got two alliances on either side, so they can break into two coalitions and easily can be taken down. Not easily, but can be taken down. And this fort is about to go as well. Yep, burning. So that's pretty much it. 1446. Now 1254 is in the bottom right corner, and 1556 is in the top left corner. Now they're the powerhouse KDs, but then how the matchmaking kind of went, and more so than matchmaking, Diplo kind of went, the power is very much higher on the 1254 side, and one of the 1556 allies is kind of getting boxed in. So doesn't look good for 1556, but either way, I think they can still get to Kingsland. They're probably not going to be as powerful, so there's much to see in this KvK still, I guess. King Dex, 1 p.m. here, just got back from the hospital. Nice to get you back from the hospital. Hopefully that's for your work. Everyone is safe, nothing to worry about, hopefully. Karagat, I wish 1412 could make a comeback. They super impressed me. I wish their allies were a little stronger. I think 1823 was a little weaker compared to what their power is. And then there was 1647, who was, really strong. John, are you in 1365? Yes, mate. With my alt account. So this is my alt account. I am in JST at the moment, but this is my alt account. So this is not where I am like super active or high performing or anything. Thanks for the overview of what's going on. Yep, he's 1365. All good work here. Yeah, that's good to know, man. speaking of work, I am going to disappear for the next couple days from my YouTube live because I got 2 interviews on Friday that requires me to make some presentations tomorrow. I haven't been working for the last 6 months. I got a redundancy, and I was kind of thinking I can kind of try to, just be a YouTuber and lead my life. And then the wife came in and instructed to me apply for jobs. So for the 2 sort of interviews, I'm gonna be kind of off for the next 2 days, but then after that, you will be back to normal. Now, I think once I get a job, it's not an issue. I started my YouTube career when I was still working, so it's not gonna have a permanent impact. It's just at the moment, it's gonna take up some time. Now, we are back in the 1365 KvK. We're going to check all the rankings. That's the main thing that I wanted to do today. So which one do you guys want to see first? Alliance power, maybe? That gives you a feel of who is who power wise, even though that shouldn't really be the main thing. Maybe kills should be the main thing, but regardless, let's have a look. Now, Alliance power, JST has the highest power. Now, one thing you need to keep in mind, it's kind of to do with how you're distributing your players. So 1365 distributed their players in the top 5 alliances, main players. So that's why each of those alliances will look a little bit more powerful. But then what 1846 did is they split their players amongst 8 main alliances or 8 fighting alliances. So that's gonna be looking a little bit different. So each of those alliances will look a little less powerful, but then if you add them up, which is what we kind of plan to do, and let's see how that goes. When is the Pass 6 opening for 1556 and 1254? I think we got a few days. I don't know exactly, but then we'll definitely cover that. Now, rather than when the pass opens, I know it's more interesting if I could stream when the pass opens, but then real life is a factor, so I can only stream at the times that I stream, which is kind of now, this time zone. So whether it be, early in the pass opening or late in the pass opening, around this time, whichever day Pass 6 opens for 1254 and 1556, we'll definitely be streaming that. Superior Warrior, Saturday. Okay, that's perfect because I'm kind of off for Thursday and Friday, so Saturday we can. 1450 UTC, that's pretty good as well. So 1450 is a bit late, but I can try. Okay, now let's have a look at the Alliance Power rankings again, and what I'll try to do is we'll try to kind of calculate how many main alliances we're talking about here. So JST, number 1. WIB, Watch It Burn from 1846 is number 2, then 14 million, not that much of a difference. Third is from 1846 as well, 14 billion, and then BLN comes in from 1365, and then you got another 1846. So far in the top 5, you got 2 1365 KDs and you got 3 1846 KDs. And if you scroll down, that's 1044. Now, which side is 1044 on? 1044 is on the 1365 side, so that's good for us. And you got another 1365 alliance, then you kind of have 1846 come in, you got 1365 come in, and then it's all sorts of other KDs, and then another 1846, another 1846. So I think where 1846 kind of becomes scary is whilst they're probably on par for the top 10 alliances or so, or top 20, like they're on par with other kingdoms, then there's these extra alliances. By extra, no disrespect, I mean they're 11 billion power, so I can't disrespect, but then what I'm trying to say is there's all these extra alliances that 1846 has that no other kingdom kind of has. So that's probably their 6th and 7th, and there should be an 8th as well somewhere. There it is. That's the 8th. Oh, there's 9th as well. Actually, let me count. 1. So that's still respectable. 8.7, that's a fighting alliance. You can say that that's a fighting alliance. Less than 8, probably not so much. So definition, that's one of our fighting alliances. That's number 31. So this KvK is going to be massive. Way overpowered alliances and kingdoms here. Should I gem for VIP 18 LADUS Rapid Gaming? Hey man, that's gonna be very expensive. Depends on where you are. So if you're like, you know, almost there, close to 18, you can gem a little bit. But then if you're talking about being on VIP 15 and trying to gem all the way, I don't think it's worth it. What's worth it for you then is trying to get into any one of these kingdoms and join any one of these alliances so that you can kind of get the gold heads, and that way you get, I mean, not gold heads, gold chests. That way you get a lot of gems and whatever, and VIP as well. VIP 17. Okay, 17 to 18, not that much of a, I mean, it is still quite a bit, right? It's 2.5 million or something. So if you're talking about more than gems, and that's when you're doing it, maybe, but without being on more than gems, I probably wouldn't. And then the other factor is if you're trying to 325 days old, you're a big spender. If you're 325 days old, then you're a big spender, then you probably shouldn't gem it. You probably should keep buying bundles and just get there. Or you're in a high spending alliance already. Even in that case, just wait. Then I'll probably say don't gem it. Gemming is for someone that's naturally not gonna go there. That's how I kind of see it after VIP 14, whenever you start getting 12 gold heads. I mean, sorry, 3 gold heads, not 12 gold heads. And 18 is more for rally leaders. So unless you're trying to, I mean, unless you're a rally leader, that I'm not too sure. I'm VIP 18, 10 days old, NM. Yeah, sure. Even Baba didn't get there in 10 days, man. What are you talking about? Okay, now let me count. 1, we're counting how many 1846 alliances over that 8 million, you know, fighting kind of alliance threshold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, not 9. They got 8. So there's 8 fighting alliances in 1846, and that's why they're scary. Now let's compare 1365. Now 1365, it's not like they're the best KD in the world. Obviously, to me they are, because I love them. But then, from a neutral point of view, they're a decent KD. Towards the top, but not the best or the strongest or anything. Now let's count 1365. Let's come down from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that it? That is it. Yep, they had 5. Okay, so 5 versus 8. That's where it kind of comes in. I mean, the power. Please check alliance kill points. Yes, man, we are going to do that now. Madness. How about KP alliance? 1846 will eat 65 alive. 846 is very juicy, stacked with farms to garrison. Yep, Rapid Gaming, I kind of agree with you, as in 1846 is extremely OP. And I don't think 1365 matches up well with 1846. But we'll see how it kind of goes. Positive thinking. Okay, now we are going to look at alliance kills. Now, when it comes to alliance kills, one other factor that I think you should take into account is, I know people migrate and everything, but alliance kills adds up over time. And 1846 is a newer sort of KD. I'm pretty sure they have more kills overall, but I'm just saying that the fact that they will end up having more kills, it's even more impressive on 1846's part. But actually, to be honest, most of the players are migrated, so I probably shouldn't even talk about that. Dan, 1365 has shown time and time again winning Osiris League games despite being much lower power against opponents. Yes, you're kind of right. OL JST has done a amazing job, and their spending is nothing compared to the, say, 1034 spending, but then oil has a lot more to do with strategy than raw power. Rabbit Gaming, oil means nothing. It's about 30 players, not 3,000. That's correct as well. So when it comes to having all those players in 1846, I mean, at one stage, raw power means like a lot more. But if anything, 1365, okay, let's put it this way. So what we are kind of hoping realistically from 1365, at least from my end, let's see what 1044 can do to help 1346. Yes, 1046. So that's one other thing. Okay, so thank God we have viewers that are smarter than me. So it's not a fight just between 1365 and 1846. So there are allies and enemies and all sorts of things on both sides. So say, for example, 1044, they had a very strong alliance somewhere up there. And then there's, so as you can see, there's a big alliance from 2256. 2256 is on 1365 side, and there's 1044 that's on 1365 side as well. So you know, it's not like it's a 1v1. 1365 probably lose easy, but then there's all these alliances or kingdoms involved, so we have to see how it goes. Water camp is on their own, right? What do you mean on their own, man? And which one is water camp? With is that water? Let's go and have a look. So with a strife of 8, like it's hard to keep a track of all the camp names. It's not just 4. What's their camp? Does it say? Is that water? I don't know. In the midnight. So I don't know when you say water camp which one it would be. I know how to find it, but like I just don't know on top of my head. True, but saying that they will put up a good fight to 46. Yes. So in terms of that topic, what's a good fight? So the most that I have seen 1846 is when 1846 was fighting 1075, when Chizgul was in 1075. So I probably watched every single Chizgul stream because I just wanted to see how 1846 was doing. And we have a new subscriber. Everyone, thank you for your subscription. So when I was watching that 1846 fight, 1846, I mean 1075 was a pretty decent kingdom. I mean, it wasn't really up there, best of the best, but it's a pretty decent kingdom. It used to be. I don't know about it now, but it used to be a pretty decent kingdom. And 1846 pretty much manhandled them. Like it wasn't a even fight or even an interesting fight. 1846 just won straight up, just won, overpowered. So what I'm kind of hoping is 1365 kind of doesn't get overpowered and embarrassed like that, but at least can fight back a little. Like Kingsland fight is not over within a day, like hopefully at least couple days. That's respectable. So that's what I'm kind of hoping for. Water camp is there to farm in zone 4 only for next KvK. Which kingdoms are in water camp, Rabbit? I'm not too sure. How is 1044? Haven't heard anything about them. They have fighters. Well, 1044, when we are looking at the alliance kills, you will see it's 1365, 1846, 1365, 1846, 1846, 1846, 1365, and then after the top 7 being 1365 and 1846, you see 2256 and 1044 come in. So I mean, they're kind of up there, and then we got 1846 again. So 1044, I would say that based on just stats, they look kind of alright. 2255 and 2378 are not allied with anyone. 2255, 2378 are not allied with anyone. Okay, so I am not too sure whether the Diplo has changed recently, and I'm just going by the kingdom mails that I got from 1365. So what you can see on the top right hand corner is what I think we got as a kingdom mail. Now I don't know whether something changed with 2255 and 2378, to be honest, but you know, when the fighting starts, we'll see. I mean, if they're, so it's not like they're allied to us, so I mean, I don't know how they're gonna be able to remain in the KvK. I mean, why would the other kingdoms kind of let them be? But we'll see how it goes. Madness, but some 1846 players has accounts in 1365 and some of them have accounts in 1846. That is correct, Madness, you're definitely correct. So this happens often nowadays, so players usually go for their main account. So usually you'll have players, say for example Makote, I think that's how we say his name, Makote, the big player from 1846, he has an account in 1365 as well. So I'm guessing he's just not going to be that active in 1365 account, or maybe he'll just flag fields, whatever. So yeah, but then there's a lot of players with accounts on both ways. 2255 and 2370 is there only to farm in zone 4 for next KvK. Okay, we'll see then. Honestly, as it is a 4v4 KvK, this KvK is already lopsided. 1846 is too deep, man. Hey man, everyone, yes, you're right. So I think 1846 is overpowered. That's what we were talking about, but then you kind of never know, as in what 1365 can pull out of the bag. So 1365 has some really dedicated players. So I mean, I don't think anyone can win against 1846 in a 1v1 situation, but then there are allies, and also 1365 usually is very resourceful and dedicated, so it's going to be fun, hopefully. To fight 46, it will need 2 top-tier Imperium to go against them. You're right, Madness. I mean, 2 top-tier Imperium maybe a little bit strong for maybe 1 top-tier Imperium. So say, for example, maybe 1556, maybe 1254 plus another small Imperium. Maybe, I don't know. 8 alliances over 10 billion plus 2 support alliances with 9 billion. Like WTF, yes. Rabbit Gaming, it's 3v4v1. Rabbit, I'm not too sure that's how it is. I saw a YouTube video kind of trying to say that that's how it is. I'm not too sure that's how it is, because I mean, whilst I'm in 1365, I'm obviously going to go by what 1365 leadership kind of tells me, though. I'm very much sure even it's a 2v6 with 1846, they will win. That I can agree with for sure. Honestly, I am low-key hoping 254 get a migration as huge as 846 next time. We get a 254 versus a 846 rematch fair and square, like HA with 254, 365, 846, 56. Oh man, if that happens, that would be exciting. Now, just like you, how you're saying you hope 254 gets a big migration, I kind of hope 1365 gets a big migration as well. But I think 1365 at the moment is already lower powered than 254, so maybe with 254 you have a better chance. 1412, hey man, we had a look at 1412. KvK 1412 is kind of stuck in their zone. It doesn't look like they're gonna be, you know, they're gonna be coming out or winning. Everyone 56 are underdogs. They will have hard time this KvK. Raw power means nothing, but activity does. You know what though, this KvK, yes, but have you guys seen the new Heroic Anthem Power Up KvK? I just did a video for it today, and when we were looking at the siege tower situation and troop blockade situation, you can have players, support accounts, and less active players. They can do blockades as well. You don't have to be online. You put your troops out there and then you go offline. And that's actually pretty bad. But what that does is, if you're overpowered in terms of power and number of people, which 1846 is, if they signed up for the power up Heroic Anthem Power Up KvK, which is going to be available for everyone within months, next KvK, I think it's going to get even harder to beat a kingdom like 1846 going forward. I kind of didn't like that siege tower blockade thing. Like it makes farm alliances, support alliances, and offline players more powerful. I don't know. So troops auto attack. If you want to find out more about it, I just did a video today. It's not that long, about 8 minutes. So after the stream, you guys can kind of check it out. Ronnie streamed this morning. He's in 23-29, allied with 46, and said Water Camp is not their allies. King Dex. So Water Camp isn't our allies either, man. So I mean, yeah, it could be. You could be right. So the reason why I may know less about it, because there was no talks ever for Water Camp, as in that 2378 camp being allied with us. So we thought they're part of 1846. If they're not, then they're not. Now Ronnie, yes, he's part of that alliance. So if he says that it's not, then that's great. So I'll just check with, I think I'll try to check with our leadership again, and if they say that definitely they're not allied with 1846, if we see them not being allied with 1846, then it's a 3v4, could be. What you supposed to do, Ladus, when opponent kingdom fighting with 5 T1 marches, even their whales? 5 T1 marches? When opponent kingdom fighting with 5 T1 marches, even their whales. Who does that? What are you talking about, man? I mean, the thing is, in terms of activity combined with power, 1254 and 1846 are unmatched. The only other close one is 1365, but I think 254 have the best shot of 1v1 846 if they get a huge migration every run. Then 846 versus 365, 254. 846 versus 56, who will win? At the moment, 846 probably wins, but then 56 and 54 are not too far off. And what 1365 does, we'll find out, this KvK. Kyrule, he means 5 marches full of T1. Rabbit, in our last KvK, we matched with the kingdom. There are players with using T1 for field fighting. Oh my god. Well, in the next KvK, you're going to see a lot of T1 siege marches, because they're going to do towers, and they're like one single tower, not that strong, but you can have many towers from all of your farm accounts and, blockading and everything. I just felt like it, when I tried it out today for the video, it didn't feel like it's like a good idea. I think it's ruining the balance for some reason. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so we were looking at individual power rankings. Let's have a look. So we got BIA Boss Blake 1846 with 6 individual powers. Guys, this is not alliance power. Individual power, 684 million. The second one is from BIA as well. 1846, 558 billion power. And then we got Makote, 1846. So top 4, 1846, 505 million. Then another 1846, 328 million. Wow. So this is where you get a feel of how spendy 1846 is and how non-spendy 1365 is, because The first 1365 player comes in at 252, number 10. And spending doesn't translate only to power, spending translates to your equipment and everything as well. I think if 254 do well this KvK and semi-zero themselves, they might get a big migration, like 2 whole new 12 billion alliances, which would put them close to 846. Yep. So whether you're talking about 1254 or 1556, either one of them getting like a one full alliance and maybe like another support sort of alliance, that will take them close to 846. Who would win? 846 plus 254 versus 860 versus 556. In that one, if I had to put money, I'll put it on the... Ooh, now you made it interesting. Okay, that's gonna be a tough one. Rabbit Gaming, 846, 56, who will win? 846 at the moment, man. But from what I know, speaking with Fo, so Fo is one of the leaders in 1556, a good friend as well. So speaking with him, what I know is so 1556 did a bit of migration this KvK, and they have like a big pipeline coming in next KvK as well. So at the moment 56 will lose, but if what Fo was saying in terms of the names he said are gonna migrate, if that's true, then probably 56 can challenge. Mentalist, isn't migration limited to 30 players now? Is it? I didn't think it's limited to 30 players. I thought that's for early KvKs only. I'm not too sure. Ashraf, no top tier Imperium can beat 846 at the moment. Yep. Please consider winner 846 556. I think at the moment 846. It's for KvK2. Yep. That 30 migration is for early KvKs, not Season of Conquest. Now guys, one of the things that I want to do now, since we looked at all these high-powered players, I want to see if their power kind of translates to kills as well, right? So Boss Blake, that's a lot of power. Now 6.6 billion is very impressive. Okay, let me do the verification. We didn't get a chance to analyze. Early KvKs only, not bad. 1846 is juicy till bones. 1846 is... Wow, there's a lot of muscle, man. We're just looking at one of the muscle players right now. So let's look at ranking, individual power. So Boss Blake. So we're checking out this boss's account. That's a lot of power, and as impressive 6.6 billion is, unless this is a new account, maybe not matching the power. Maybe it's a new account, we don't know, right? But then look at that. 74 million dead troops. So definitely he's a contributor. So these players obviously contribute, and you need these players to go the extra mile, and that's where 1846 is kind of OP, right? Now let's look at the next one. 7.8, that's pretty high as well. 56, that's pretty impressive as well. You also should have considered that 1254 went through like a 4 tough KvKs. Now their players are tired, little resources. Now with easier KvK now, if they win, they will get big migration. All of that true, everyone. The only thing that I'm thinking is, at the moment, the KvK 1254 is going for... I don't think they're gonna lose a lot of power. And I'm not saying they don't deserve a tough easy KvK. They had really tough the last few KvKs, and some of the players from 1254 mentioned that they do 3 or 4 tough KvKs, then take it easy for 1 just to give the players a bit of a breather, and then go for big ones again. But then just because this is the easier one, I mean, you need to drop power. So if you don't naturally drop power during the KvK, or actually you can delete troops. You can delete troops, you can kill the troops on people's cities. So yep, you can definitely get a big migration as well. And yes, getting a win kind of helps get more migration as well, because 1254 and some of the other KDs as well. So this is like a shocking thing. If you look at 1254 and 1556, two of the more respectable KDs, none of them have stars. Like, that's shocking. Does that mean they're not winning? Well, in a way, yes, they're winning less, but that's because they're taking bigger fights, harder fights, and then, I mean, you get the star only if you hold the ziggurat. So I don't think people should talk too much about the stars, but either way, let me celebrate. We got 2 new subscribers, so welcome. So we got Wardum and we got Jeremy A. Thank you guys for your subscriptions. 1846 deleted like a lot of troops. Yep, they did. Otherwise, there's no way they get. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it's not a guess. They deleted. Some of the players talked about it. They deleted. Everyone deleted everything they could, as long as they can train it back, and that's how they got the big migration coming in, which now makes them OP. Rabbit Gaming, 1254 are chickens. Nah, man, come on, I don't agree with that. We fought against 1254 as part of 1365 last KvK. They did pretty good. They fought a lot. Rabbit Gaming, how so? Okay, well, that's a weird conversation. So guys, any like weird negative comments, I'm not part of that. Prospect, hello from 2329. Prospect, hey man, how are you going? Dan, winning players approval as fighting kingdoms is a way valuable than those stars. Yes, exactly, with the exception of 60 GT. I don't know about that, man. Kingsman, where you from? Hey man, I live in Sydney. I'm originally from Bangladesh. Okay, we're looking at individual power. Still looking at individual power. So Makote, well, we want to see him, obviously. So let's click on Makote's profile. Now look at those kills, 18 billion, and that's where it gets like really impressive. 18 billion. So not that I'm saying these players are not strong, but obviously they're not as strong as Makote with 18 billion kill points. Oh my god, that's more than my alliance has, I think. And 143 million dead troops. Now, how do you fight with these guys? Seriously. Like, how? Joshua, hey Ben, it's been a while. Yes, Joshua, you used to be an early subscriber. Have missed you in chat. While 1254 has 0 stars, in my opinion, they're one of the most insane and warring kingdoms. 1254, I agree with you. 1254 is a big fighting kingdom. Wow, I didn't know you're from Bangladesh. Oh wow, Rabbit, you speak Bengali as well. Chilsey, good morning. I got my t-shirt. Hey, great. So guys, we did a competition earlier where we did a trivia night, and along with Chilsey, we had 3 winners, and we sent t-shirts, LADUS Gaming t-shirts to the winners, and I'm really glad that Chilsey got it. Now, I kind of was not smart, being a noob at streaming and all that. Probably shouldn't have done the t-shirt, because the t-shirt isn't expensive, but the postage and tracking and all that and tax, oh my god. So next time when we do a competition, rather than an item, we're probably gonna do it with Google cards or Apple cards or something like that. That way you can buy bundles with it. Makote is insane, always insane and rallying everything. Yep. Now Makote has an alt in 1365, and I think that's Makote's alt because it's called Makote and has the same picture. Even with the alt, he's kind of fighting all the time. I need LADUS t-shirt. Rabbit Gaming, you can buy it from our merch store. Link is in the description. When does Pass 4 open for this KvK? We just landed today, man, so probably like a week or close to a week. Have shown individual kill ranking yet? King Dex, no man, haven't gone there yet. 1860 ally with 1034, that's not fair against 1093. Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel bad for 1093. I think that KvK is more like bad on Lilith. Like, why would you put three Imperium KDs? Like, you gotta put either 2 or 4. So I don't know how. I mean, the only thing I can think of is in that KvK, if 1860, 1034, and 1093 could allied against the world, but even then that would be too easy for them. So I kind of don't know how that worked out. Okay, we checked out Makote. Now we are gonna check out the next guy, Janin. That's a lot of kills, and that's a lot of deads. So anyways, we kind of don't need to go through everyone. I obviously want to check out our homeboy 1365. I can't say his or her name. I mean her based on the picture, but let's see her kills. 15 billion, that's more like it. And we got another brother for JST, Kang, and let's check his kills as well. 8 billion. Okay. But then just look at that, guys. So many 1846 players with extremely high power. This is where JST kind of doesn't match up at all. Is it Zangbot account? Yes, Zangbot's here. Where is Zangbot? I think I saw Zangbot earlier. Zangbot is MangoBot here. Where is it? Now Zangbot is not in the top. So Kang is not. I don't think that's Zangbot account. I think Zangbot is like MangoBot somewhere down here. His Legend Ronnie. Hey, that's Legend Ronnie main account 29TO. So guys, please let me know this. I thought Legend Ronnie main account is in 2155, but I'm sure this is the main account. So he left 2155. This is the main account for sure, with the power and the kills and the deads. So he had an account in 2329. I used to think he had an alt account there, but that looks like the main account. So he doesn't play in 2155 anymore. Kang is from 534. Okay, my bad. He got plenty of accounts. He has 2 accounts, 2155 and 2339. Oh wow, 2 accounts over 100. Okay. Well, he does. Like, he is a long-term content creator. So yeah. Danang Walia subscribed. Hey man, thank you for your subscription. Okay, we found Legend Ronnie. Legend Ronnie is number 49 with all that power. So that probably tells you how big this KvK is probably gonna be. That's MangoBot. We found Zangbot. Zangbot is number 60. 12 billion kills. Lot of deaths. Okay, so we kind of know how the individual power ranking looks. It's mostly 1846 with a sprinkle of 1365 here and there. Now let's look at, that was individual power. Let's look at individual kills. Rock Farm, hello Ladus. Hey man, how are you going? Irene, his alt is in 682. Okay, all right. Pelt the Great, hello Ladus. Hey man. Petal, I said Pelt. Petal. Kingdex, Ronnie should be pretty high on KP killboard, I guess. Yep, he definitely should be. Now let's look at the kills. Now the guy with the highest kills. I kind of thought we could see a 1365 here, but no, this is dominated by 1846 as well. So the first guy, Alexander, with 20.6 billion kills, and he's only 108 million power. Now this guy is the beast here, obviously. So the power ranking that you saw, that's kind of, you have money, but this kind of means that you know how to use money. You have money, but you know how to use money for the good of your kingdom, and that's with 83 million dead troops as well. Alexander, and then obviously you have Makote, and he's probably gonna surpass I can't say it. Surpass. Okay, I can say it. Surpass. Makote is going to surpass Alexander probably in this KvK, because he's a big occasion guy, just like his soccer matches. Kill order. Ronnie has account in 2155, 1682, 2329. Wow. Alexander migrated there. I don't know who Alexander is, but looks like he's there. Now, speaking of migration, guys, I want to try something. I have never done a poll, and I was thinking about doing a poll. So let me see if I can do it. So this is a hypothetical poll. I'm not really doing this. I'm typing up the question. Okay, give me like 2 seconds. Where should... Okay, guys, I just did a poll. Now I want to see if I don't know how it works, guys. I want to see if the poll appears. If the poll appears in the chat, or is that like a separate thing? Honestly, I feel sorry for the young kingdom who will fight 1846. Yep, half of them are gonna stop playing RoK. Because, you know, it's going to be a devastating experience. Okay, so guys, I think the poll appeared here in the chat, but then it's hiding the chat. Okay, I'm gonna be unable to read chat for a little bit, but then if you can, please do the poll thing in the chat. So I'm asking a question. So I got my main account in 1348. I love 1348. The king is like my old best friend ever, and I enjoy playing there. So I don't necessarily have a plan to migrate anywhere. And if I wasn't doing YouTube, I wouldn't even be asking this question. But the reason why I'm asking this is because there are 3 kingdoms that have reached out to me about migration, and not necessarily they're the best kingdoms, but I put those 4 kingdoms there: 1365, 1875, 1556, 1093, because I had leadership members kind of checking, hey Ladus, have you been thinking about coming to a big Imperium KD so that, you know, you get more coverage and all that. So they're actually doing me a favor, and I'm honored to be invited to, like, you know, 4 different solid KDs. Now, one of them, 1365, that's the worst option. You know why? Because I already have an alt account there. So from a YouTube point of view, bringing my main account here doesn't mean I'm increasing coverage. So from my mindset, like if I want to bring the main to 1365, I have to then buy passport in this alt and then move it out somewhere else. So, but then I just want to see where our viewers would, I guess, like for me to be, I guess, and they would enjoy seeing those KvKs a little bit more. So one of the KDs that I was surprised that is not on the list is, actually, let's not go there. But anyways, whilst you guys are doing that poll, I'll keep it open for a couple more minutes, and during that time I can't see chat because, as I said, that poll thing is covering my chat window. But we're going to go through the other kill rankings. Are we looking at kills? Yes, we are. So after Makote, we got Pororo. We love Pororo. We got an account overview of Pororo. So in terms of his equipment, his speed ups, and whatever he has, so you can check it out on our channel. 195 million power with 16.8 billion kills and 100. So he hit the century, 100 million kills. Now that's impressive. He's a really nice guy as well. Now let's look at the next brother whose name I cannot pronounce, but 15 and 254. We kind of had a look at her account earlier as well, and there's more players from 1846. So in a way, I had this, and Legend Ronnie number 7. Obviously, the legend is there with a lot of kills. And we have Star. Star again is, and we got Mangost and Cal. Okay, lots of, and Ruff. So these, and Donkey, and these are the names you have seen in my videos from a month ago or a couple months ago a lot, because that's when we were doing videos of the 1365 KvK, and you will see them live here again. Now, just a reminder, if you're not subscribed, please feel free to subscribe. If you haven't liked the stream, please do, because on this channel you'll have inside coverage of this KvK and all that action. Now, I just have to say, I love Star. He's such a nice guy and such a strong player. He's not the biggest spender, only 104 million power and 13.5 billion kills and 42 million dead. So these are the players that you want to play around with, of course. Now, the 7 marches Star uses, we got a video on that as well. Mango Bot, Zangbot. If you want to know what Zangbot has in his account, we got an overview of that as well. Okay, so the false hope that I had that 1365 is gonna lead the individual kills ranking, that's not true. They obviously have more presence here compared to the power, but I think it's still kind of dominated by 1846. Now, other than these two KDs, let's see who else kind of comes in. 2329, oh, obviously that's Legend Ronnie. And then we got 1044. So yeah, 1044 kind of pops up here and there in all the rankings, so I'm hoping they're like a strong KD as well. Okay, now we are going to keep the individual kill rankings on the background, and I'm gonna go and check the poll. So we left it open for 5 minutes and I want to check it. Now, do I know how to check it? This is the first time I'm doing this, guys, so bear with the noob. End poll. I clicked on end poll. Now, how do I know the answer? Okay, you guys can see the answer. You guys can see the answer on the, the outcome of the polling or voting in the chat, right? Okay, let's see what we got. 55% people think we should go to 1556. Now that's like more than 50%. Obviously 55 is higher than 50. Okay, so that's quite dominant. 1365, 22% people thinks we should go there. 1093, 19% people thinks we should go there, and 1875 has 2%. Okay, now 1556, I used to play in 1584. Now that's a Korean KD. I had a lot of friends there. I loved playing there. And the two main alliances from that KD went to 1556. So basically a lot of my friends went to 1556. Now that friend list includes players that you may not know. So say for example Saz is one of the bigger players in 1556. So he's like, we're from the same hometown. We talk a lot about KvK, about other things and whatnot. And then Fo recently became a good friend as well, and another good friend is good father. So out of these options, I'm really confused about 1365 and 1556, because after coming to 1365, I made so many friends that I'm kind of confused. So if I had to go between the two, then I would probably end up going 1556, especially based on the migration plans Fo mentioned to me. But saying that, you know what? I think I love 1365 more. But then it's not gonna work because I already have an alt here. So from a YouTube point of view, it doesn't kind of make sense. Now I'm gonna go up chat a little bit and let me catch up with chat because I couldn't see it for a while. Prime, Lilith messed up this batch of SOC KvKs. Yep, they did. Some content creators should cover 93. Isn't there? So who is the main content creator in 93? I don't think I know anyone like I follow anyone from 93. So is there a content creator there? Yeah, 93 will be a good KD. Yep, 93. Okay, so there's quite a few comments about 93. 93 had decent numbers as well, 19%. Back then, my KD, same camp with 1415, Ronnie Old KD, fought against 1846. Thought we would won after the fight so hard against 1996, but then end up losing one KvK fighting England. Tien Viet Q, one of our oldest subscribers. You can migrate to 1556. Okay, a lot of OG players from 1846. How many main clans does 1365 has? 1365 has 5 main alliances. Dan, all superstar celebrity lineup. In 1846, yep. Hashtag from 636 is in 846. Okay. Yep, so 1865, I mean not 1865, 1846 has been collecting players from all over the world. Nen M, go for 556. 1875 is overrated. 1875 didn't perform as well as I thought they would, this KvK. To be honest, 1556 got lots of interesting characters. Yep. Now, if I, in my head, if I'm kind of trying to, do the pros and cons, between 1365 and 1556, I think 1365 has nicer people. I think 1365 has more friendly people. I'm not saying 1556 are not friendly. I'm just trying to say that people in 1365, they're so welcoming and they're usually so nice to each other. And then the other good thing about 1365 is, like, this is from my experience playing within, right? They are so effing organized, you can't imagine unless you are in 1365. So whichever KD that you play in, you always kind of say that you need to be on Discord so that you know where you're meant to be, easier to coordinate and everything. And I played in a lot of KDs publicly or secretly or whatever, and then I can say that in 1365 you can play without being on Discord because they have a special system of doing markers and how they do it, and their R4s are so effing dedicated that you can play the whole KvK without being on Discord. So that's a separate level of organization. So I'm kind of in love with 1365, but then where 1556 kind of comes in is I have an account in 1365 already, so it doesn't make sense. Also, 1365, when it comes to migration, 1365 doesn't really do those big migrations, at least not from what I have seen so far. But 1556 is trying to be, I guess, as OP as, I think they're kind of on par with 1254. Not that they will win this KvK, but they're kind of on par. But they have that migration plan where they're gonna be one of the biggest, most powerful KDs out there. Now, all these good things that I said about 1365 and not said about 1556, whilst I'm thinking about going to 1556, that doesn't kind of fit well. Well, I'm not talking about good things about 1556 because unless I have experienced them firsthand, I can't do that, right? But then, based on everything I hear from Fo or Goodfather or what's his name? Says, probably not a bad call. Rich Belico, good evening, boss. Ahu, Bye Bye Z is already in 1556, right? Yep, I think Bye Bye Z is in 1556, yes. Even Dragothian left K93. Ah, okay. Nobody that I know is 93. Makote. Hit the like button. Yes, thank you. No content creator in 93. Okay. What do they if you don't come on Discord? Because I tell players to join Discord and they don't. Man, you know what you do? You give up. The reason why you give up is because that's not something you can kind of impose. Like, if they don't, they're not going to. Then you kind of, ask them to leave. I don't know. But I face that a lot. You and Chuni will be the final jigsaw puzzle in 1556. If that's a big if we go there, and I can't go without kind of, permission from my current king, because he's not someone that I want to not be in a good relationship with. Okay, so we looked at all sorts of ranking. Any other rankings you guys want to see? Farming ranking? Why not? Now, this is where we are not going to see. I was going to say this is where we are not going to see 1846, but 1846 does have a lot of older players as well who farms a lot. So, but then they're not farmers. You can't call this a guy farmer. 80 million power with 2.6 billion kills. That's a fighter. That's not a farmer. But then he's probably free to play, and that's why he needs to farm a lot, and he does a good job. So well done, Kumex. And we got our own Drew. Hey, Drew. Hey, Drew is even more impressive. So Drew, 84 million power with almost 5 billion kills. So he's a farmer, he's a fighter, and he has a lot of dead troops as well. He's everything that you need to be. Good Father Baba for it says. So I kind of don't know Baba on a personal level. I don't think I get to, because he's like busy and all that. But then Good Father, I talk to a lot, like a lot. And for again a lot, and not just in game, on Discord and everything. And definitely says as well, says my hometown boy. So that's the names that you kind of mentioned there. That's why I kind of feel like I want to consider. Now, that's enough about me, but from your guys' sakes, if watching big KvKs kind of inspires you, where you want to be part of that big murder ball and all that, I used to think that it's a bad idea for low spenders or free to play to go big kingdoms. And now I changed my mind. It's probably the best idea for lower powered players, I mean free to play and low spenders, to go to these big kingdoms, because that's the only way you're gonna get the speed ups that you need. Because if you're in a small KD with not much spending, you're not gonna have enough speed ups. You're not buying those speed ups yourself. So you need to be in a big kingdom where there's a lot of gold chest drops, and that's probably what you should consider. Baba will go 0 in that KvK. We'll see. Baba fights a lot. Okay. Kind of don't know rest of the players, but there's a lot of players from different kind of kingdoms. But these are the numbers you should look at. 41? Seriously, you farmed 41 billion resources? Oh my god. Anointed Assassin, you also get the action. You need to improve your KP. Yes, that's true. That's true. Because in smaller KvKs, or with, I guess, less powered kingdoms fighting each other, fighting is over a lot earlier. Now, that's one of the things that I suffer in my main account. So the last two, so with my main account, the last 3 KvKs, I almost got, I mean, I did get my 30 mil, but not much more, because I kind of feel like we either lose or win KvK too fast. So not always win, but obviously win or lose, but either way it happens too fast, so fighting doesn't last too long. Kyrol Ashraf, go 1556, says waiting for you. I hope he is. Wanna join 365? What requirements? I'm 78 million power, 2.8 billion KP. So Dan, you need to talk to Save. So JST Save, so he's the king, he's the most effing organized guy in the world, and he manages everything. So talk to him, and with your stats, I'm sure you can get in. So the main thing that I heard from 1365 leaders is, so if you're a casual player, you and that's actually, I heard the exact same requirements from 1365 and 1556. So if you're a casual player and you want to fight when you can, not necessarily when the fight opens, you need to keep your power between 65 and 70 and never let it cross 70 and delete all your siege. That's pretty much it. Then you can be within one of the fighting alliances. And as long as you have more than 1 billion kill point, if you with the 65 to 70 million power, then you're good. Now, in your case, you got 78 and 2.8 billion. So that's very impressive. So definitely you can get in and be in a good alliance. Now, one negative thing that I have to mention about the big Imperium KDs, when you go to say 12, I'm guessing it depends on your power and your kills and spending and all that. But say for example, this account 72, this is a farm account. Honestly, this is a farm account, so not that I want to play Ark with this, but if I did, do you think I can make the cut to play the gold league Ark where you get 10 gold heads? No. This guy with this amount of kills and low spending doesn't. Star, hey, we got Star. Speaking of JST, you got Star here. Now Star, if this account asked if I can play Osiris League with JST, what are you gonna say? You're not even gonna laugh, because that's not a funny joke. But let alone Osiris League, if I say that I want to play the Gold League Arc, I think I'm gonna struggle. But then if you're an active player with good amount of kills, you can play the Gold League. By Gold League, I don't know whether the term is officially Gold League. By Gold League, I mean where you get what's it called, where you get the 10 gold heads if you win the Arc match. And you know how there's the Silver League where if you win you get 5. So the one bad thing probably in terms of playing in a massive Imperium Kingdom is you kind of lose out on that 5 gold head every 2 weeks given you win, because you may need to play in a Silver League type of situation. But then those 5 gold heads is compensated in so many different ways, it's not funny, especially in terms of these chests. Now this is JST, but then I collected everything earlier, so what you can see is just the little one. So I collected, I think 12, not 12, I think 14, 12 or 14, I forgot. So I collected 12 or 14 in the last 6 hours. So in the morning I wasn't in JST, so for the last 6 hours I was in JST, and I got like 12 or 14 gold chests. So that's more than enough compensation for missing out on the, what's it called. So even if we had 12, there's 3 more, see. So when you're in KvK in one of the bigger alliances, you're gonna get a lot of gold chests that you don't get in a smaller alliance or a smaller KD, and that compensates for Arc League. But anyways, that's kind of what we wanted to talk about. Now let's have a look at one other ranking. Do you know when 1365 immigration opens? When this KvK finishes. So you can kind of check that. Let's click here. So 29, so say 50 days plus 3 days, so that's what, 53 days, roughly 53 days. So you can reach out to save the leader and he manages everything. Okay, now guys, there's one other ranking that we thought we were going to look at that we didn't, which is the achievement ranking. Now achievement points, this is purely a measure of how much you spend. Now let's see who spends the most. Now I'm not saying spending is a bad thing, but this is where you're showing credit card power, and our poor Roro has a lot of credit card power, and that's 6,195, 6,300, 6,000. Okay, so these are the biggest sort of spenders in the game if you wanna, look at it that way. We had a new subscriber and I missed the notification. How did I miss that? I don't know. It's NGO Fong. NGO Fong. Thank you for your subscription. So 1846 naturally takes up a lot of space in this. So in the top 10 we have 2 players from 1365, 2 or 3. 2. We got 2 players from 1365 that made the top 10, and 1 from 1044. I'm kind of getting the feel that 1044 is going to be a pretty good ally this KvK. They have good presence here and there in every ranking. So these are kind of all the rankings that we have. Now, guys, we have been streaming for about an hour and 20. We are probably gonna close up pretty soon. So if there's any ranking or anything that you guys want to see, then let me know. We can kind of go through it. And then
Dan, I just got my Canon framework. Well done, man. The Canon framework is the mark of the beast, and you definitely won that. Like this guy over here with the cannons. Now, in terms of this KvK, guys, if anything that you guys want to know, last sort of comments, questions, definitely put it in the chat. Otherwise, we're gonna close up in the last couple minutes. Now, one thing that I think I should mention in terms of the new KvKs, new subscriber, Donut. Hey man, thank you for your subscription. Now, what was I going to say? I think I was going to show you guys the KvK stuff. Yes. No, the KvK is not here. KvK is here, and then War of... They had to hide it. Anyways, it's here. Trial of KvK. So previously, I don't think we could do KvK on day 1. So in my last KvK, we did have KvK, but we couldn't start as soon as KvK started, which meant most of the benefits we didn't get before Kingsland. 2 of the difficulty levels I had to do after Kingsland. But this time around, they're starting early. Now, what's the best way to check it? Here. So 1 you can get before, well, as soon as it started. And then you get the next one. This is before pass 5. Kingsland is past 6 here? No, past 7. And then you get 3 levels for... You get 4 before Ziggurat. Actually, sadly, you still get 3. You still get 3 before Kingsland opens. Okay, that's bad. I was kind of hoping that they're kind of squeezing in at least 4. And maybe 1 could be during Kingsland, whatever. But this is kind of pointless. This is when the KvK ended already. So why are you putting a KvK there? So that's the annoying bit. But anyways, it is what it is. So I am not doing the KvK stuff today. So we can maybe do it together in the next stream. I'm not going to be streaming tomorrow. Probably going to be streaming on Friday again. I got a few like work related stuff to do on Friday. So if we stream on Friday, we'll do KvK on Friday. So for now, thank you everyone for being here today. And I didn't get any sort of questions about the rankings or anything, so I'm guessing everyone's kind of happy with what you guys saw. Thank you for your likes, thank you for your subscribes, and most importantly, thank you for being here on chat. So today I kind of talked the whole time because I had a lot of people to talk to in chat. And if you're watching and you're enjoying, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Special thank you to Donut, NGO Fong, Dang Walia, Jeremy Wardam, Everon, and Dan. Thank you everyone for your subscriptions, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for today.